Rise and shine, beautiful beings. All right, listen, guys, I get it. I understand. Okay. You're tired of hearing about the Will and Jada debacle, and that's fine because I'm tired of tapping into it. Okay. So let's move on to some bigger and better things. I will not do a part 4 to the deeper look in the Will and Jada series, but I do want to say something to Chris Rock. Okay. Chris Rock, I want to say this to you, King. I realize that we've poured a lot of attention into Will and Jada's relationship. We've poured a lot into Will Smith as to what happened at the Oscars. We haven't taken a lot of time to focus on you. And like that day that you got slapped, people rushed to Will, worried about his well-being, instead of coming to you. And I can imagine what that felt like, to be up on that stage. You have all those people in the stands looking at you, imagining all the people in the world looking at you, imagining what your children may be thinking, your wife may be thinking, your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father, your peers may be thinking and witnessing you get attacked and to not respond. As a man, I know what that felt like. See, I've been in a moment in my life. I was in middle school where, I was going to get jumped and I was afraid and I didn't respond. And when I got home, they didn't jump me. It got broke up. So no fight happened, but I felt so small because I allowed that to happen. And what I told myself was, I'll take the beat down next time because not being afraid and not acting, it made me feel like a coward because of my inaction. You understand? And I told myself that if it ever happened again, they'll have to beat me to a pulp before I ever back down. I'd rather take the butt whooping than to back down. Okay? But now that I'm older, I realize that's a horrible philosophy because all that is saying is I'm going to defend my ego with my life. And without your life, what is your ego? Right? That's crazy. So I definitely appreciate you. You are the epitome, actually, of what I teach. I teach people to stay within their mind and understand their mission in life so they don't sacrifice it for somebody else's anger or somebody else's act. Somebody insults you, you throw it all out the window by going and attacking this person. And now everything you've ever worked for is stripped from you because there's consequences to your actions. So I teach emotional intelligence over academic intelligence, okay? Or intellectual intelligence. The reason is I believe that in all of your intellectuals, you can gain the whole world. Okay, even in your talents, you can gain the whole world, become your greatest. But if you are not emotionally smart, if you are not emotionally intelligent, you will throw it all away because you're in a bad mood, because somebody offended you, because the right opportunity presented itself. And when that happens, you're left with nothing, regardless of how much work you've put in, right? Well, King, I want to tell you something. At that moment, you could have done just that. I once heard you say that a guy was bullying you, and you went and put a brick in a bag, came back to him, hit him, and then stomped him out, Joe Pesci style. And you said there was this fear that built up inside of you that told you, you don't know what you're capable of. So, there's this fear of what you might do if people bother you. Every bit of that could have manifested itself that day. I mean, you definitely were humiliated enough to respond. And I don't think anybody can argue with you fighting back after another man smacked you in your face like that in front of the world. You could have used your ego and responded through that and said, never will I let people see me look like this. And you could see it on your face, man, that it hurt, that nobody came to check on you and nobody did anything to Will. You got slapped and nobody did anything to this person. I don't know if you guys, obviously I'm talking to Chris Rock, but you guys who have ever been offended or done wrong and the people don't do anything to the person that hurt you because they're so popular and everybody likes them. It seems to be swept under the rug. And that's exactly what was happening until the world saw it for what it was, family. And we're the people who defended Chris Rock by showing that Will was wrong. Everybody else was like, Will just going through something. They said Chris Rock started it and he should be punished too. Yo, that's crazy. This man put his hands behind his back and took that like a rock. He stood there like a rock is supposed to. You understand? Listen, Chris, I want to tell you something, man. We work hard to master ourselves, to manifest our greatest gifts and skills. We want to be our best. We want to be our most talented. And I believe inside of us, we want to be praised for that talent and for the efforts that we put out. But I want to tell you something. Sometimes you can give your all and give your best, and it'll seem that you don't get what you want from the world. But here's the kicker. At your highest, you may not get what you want. But it's at your lowest that they can see the greatness in you. And that's when nobody can deny who you truly are. See, a lot of us, we want the world to give us our flowers when we at our top performing our best performance. But they don't see who you truly are until you're in the valley, King. And you showed us that you are a king even when you're in the valley. The worst can happen to you, and you will stand there and give us all an example to vibrate up to. Man, I'm proud. So proud to say that you are my brother. So proud to say you look like me and you represented the pinnacle of everything that a king should represent. Think with tact. Don't ever get lost in emotion and throw yourself out there. Stay intact because karma, the universe, is going to take care of everything. The battle is mine, saith the Lord. Your higher self says the battle is mine. Don't you throw it. Don't you throw your lower self into this fight trying to fix it and work it out and trying to fight for your ego when there's going to be consequences to you if you do that. Even if the person was wrong, it's always consequences. None of us can throw a rock in a puddle and not get a ripple. Do you understand? So again, Chris stood there and with his inaction was the greatest action of all. Actually, a Bhagavad Gita quote is the greatest action sometimes is inaction, family. And sometimes the worst inaction is actually action. Sometimes the worst thing you can do is to do something because doing something will stagnate you for life. It becomes inaction. And sometimes allowing whatever to happen and just resting in your frame is the greatest inaction because that's what yields the greatest action. Do you understand? So guys, keep this in mind moving forward. Whenever you feel like throwing it all at the water, even if it's, throwing it all out and just going ham on somebody and giving somebody revenge for what they did to you, even when you're worthy of doing it, even when it's righteous to do it, even when you say they did something to me first, so I have every right to do that back. I want you guys to consider Chris Rock, okay? When the world is up against you, when the world hits you with a mighty force, you stand there like a rock, family. Stand there like a rock. That's powerful, man. Thank you so much, King. This is what I teach. And so why didn't I see this before? That you are representing everything that I talk about. That's crazy. Man, salute to you, man. I will forever appreciate you for what you did in that moment. I know what it must have felt like for you. But know that what it did for us was motivate us. It inspired us. Any king who really has true principles in his mind, trust me, they'll be looking up to you, King, and people will be talking about this forever. All right? Proud of you, King. I'm giving you your flowers. Okay? It is at your worst that we saw your greatness, man. Wow. Peace to you.